Good morning, children. The previous session you have studied about Mendelian disorders. Today, let us learn about chromosomal disorders. So, these chromosomal disorders are due to absence or excess of one or more chromosome. In case of chromosomal disorder, the affected person has either one or more chromosomes, or he may have one or more chromosomes less than a normal person. So you know very well that in human beings we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. First 22 pairs are autosomes and the last one pair, that is 23rd pair, is the sex chromosome. And these disorders arise because of aneuploidy. So what is aneuploidy? It is the failure of segregation or separation of chromatid during cell division. What is a chromatid? The arm of a chromosome is called a chromatid. So this aneuploidy may result either in monosomy or in trisomy. Monosomy means 2n minus 1. 2n number is 46 minus 1. So the affected person has 45 chromosomes. Trisomy is 2n plus 1, that is 46 plus 1. So in trisomy, the affected person has 47 chromosomes. Is it clear? So now let us study 3 disorders we will be studying. First one is about the Down syndrome. It was first described by a scientist, Langdon Down. So the disorder is called as Down's syndrome. You should know what is a syndrome. Syndrome, the word syndrome is used to denote group of symptoms. Clear? The word syndrome denotes group of symptoms. Down syndrome was first reported by Langdon Down. And here it is because of trisomy of 21st chromosome. So each chromosome we have how many copies? 2 copies. That is why 23 pair. Here instead of 2 copies, 21st chromosome is present in 3 copies. That is why it is called, it is due to trisomy of 21st chromosome. Here 21st chromosome is present in 3 copies. What are the symptoms will be there? Symptoms are short stature. The affected person will be of short in nature. They have small round head, burrowed tongue, partially opened mouth, palm is of broad and creasy. Creasy means palm is oily in nature. And then their physical, psychomotor and mental development is retarded. And Down syndrome can occur both in case of male as well as in female. It is called syndrome because it has group of symptoms first reported by Langdon Down. That's why it is called Down syndrome. Here 21st chromosome is present in 3 copies. It can affect both male and female equally. Symptoms are short stature, small round head, burrowed tongue, partially opened mouth, palm is of broad and crease, physical, psychomotor and mental development is retarded. So here you can see this picture is called an ideogram or it is called a karyotype. Can you see here in this picture? This is every chromosome is in 2 copies. But the 21st one is present in how many copies? 3 copies. So that is why it is called as trisomy of 21st chromosome. Next disorder is called Klinefelter's syndrome. The name of the disorder is called Klinefelter syndrome. Here it is due to an additional copy of X chromosome. That is, the 23rd pair is the sex chromosome. In case of male it is XY. In case of female it is of XX. But in case of Klinefelter syndrome, they have sex chromosome XXY. As Y chromosome is present, the affected person is a male, but he is having double X and Y chromosome. So total how many chromosomes he is having? 47. Right, 44 autosome plus 3 sex chromosomes. So total number is of 47. As Y chromosome is present, the person is a male, and here gynecomastia is seen. The symptom is of gynecomastia is seen. What is gynecomastia? It is the development of breast in male, and affected person is always sterile. So Klinefelter syndrome is due to the presence of an additional copy of X chromosome. The karyotype is they have 47 chromosome, 44 autosome plus XXY sex chromosome. Affected person is a male. The main symptom is gynecomastia is seen, that is breast development in a male. The affected person is sterile. So here you can see the karyotype of a person. Normally they will be having XX female, XY means male. But here double X and one Y chromosome is also seen. This is the karyotype of Klinefelter's syndrome. Third type is called as Turner's syndrome. This is due to the absence of one X chromosome. So here total number of chromosome they have 45, 44 autosome plus only one X chromosome. The affected person is female and she will be sterile. They have rudimentary means small, rudimentary ovaries, and all the sexual characters are absent. So Turner syndrome is an example for which one? Monosomy. Because here 45 chromosomes are present, 44 autosome plus only one X chromosome. Affected person is female, they are sterile, have rudimentary ovaries, secondary sexual characters are absent. So if you see the karyotype, here only one X chromosome is present. Loss of second X chromosome. How many X chromosome is there? Only one is there, other one is lost. That is why they have 45 chromosome. It is monosomy. Now the next one is about pedigree analysis. It is an analysis or it is a tool for the analysis of traits, how the traits are inherited or transferred from one generation to another generation. It is a tool used to study how far the traits are inherited in a particular family. And this analysis is done only in human families. We are not using pedigree analysis either in case of plants or in case of other animals, but we are using it only in human families. Why we are using it in human families? Because controlled crosses are not possible. For example, if you take a plant, we are taking a tall plant, crossing it with a dwarf one, or a plant having round and yellow seed crossed with wrinkled and green seed. So as per our will and pleasure, we are crossing. But this is not possible in case of human families. And moreover, the generation time in human family is of minimum 20 years. So pedigree analysis is a strong tool to study the analysis of inheritance of a particular trait in a family. This tool we are using only in human families because one is generation time is higher, Second one is controlled crosses are not possible. In this analysis, we are using different symbols. So, what are all the symbols we are using? So, square symbol denotes male, right? And then round one represent female. Oval one is representing the female. And then this symbol represent sex unidentified or unspecified. But if the square is shaded or round is shaded, then what does it mean? Here the square is shaded means it denotes that male is affected. But here the round symbol is shaded. Shaded one represents they are affected by any of the genetic disorder. The line is called as a mating line. If two lines are there, that is a mating between close relatives. That is called consanguineous marriage or consanguineous mating. Then here it shows the parents and then their offspring. The order of birth from left to right side. Then here again you can see the parents with male child. Here it is a male parent, female parent, mating line, and the child is a male child, but it is shaded. That means they are having an affected child. Clear? So these are the symbols used in case of pedigree analysis. So with the help of pedigree analysis, we can identify the disorder. Now let us learn how to identify. What are the rules we are following? From a pedigree, if a pedigree is given, we can study the pedigree or we can analyze the pedigree and we have to come to a conclusion whether the pedigree is showing autosomal dominant disorder or autosomal recessive disorder or it is showing a sex-linked disorder. So here if you are taking, so autosomal dominant trait appears equally in both the sexes. In case of autosomal dominant disorder, both male and female are equally affected. And both the sexes will pass on the disorder to their offspring. And these disorders will not skip the generation. That means if a child is affected, their parents also will be affected. Either one of the parent will be affected. And for example, you take this pedigree, what is given here. This shows that female is affected but male is normal, right? But in the F1 generation, if it is an autosomal dominant type of disorder, here one parent is affected, other parent is unaffected, but among the offsprings, 50% will be affected. Unaffected parents cannot transmit the disease. So first rule is which one? Autosomal dominant disorder can affect both male and female equally. The affected parent will pass on the trait to their offsprings and it will not skip the generation. Here one parent is affected. When one parent is affected, among the offsprings 50% will be affected. When both are affected, all offsprings will be affected. That is what is called which one? Autosomal dominant type of disorder. Now next one is autosomal recessive type of disorder. It appears in both the sexes. Here also there are possibilities for male and female to be affected equally. Here the disorder can skip the generation. For example, parents may have but offsprings are not having. Then in the F2 generation again the disease may reappear. That means they try to skip the generation. Affected offsprings are normally having unaffected parents also. Can you see here parental generation. This is which generation? Parental generation. But parental generation, both the parents are unaffected. But among the children, if you are seeing here, how many are affected here? 2 are affected. That means in case of autosomal recessive disorder, there are possibilities for the parents not to have the disease, but the offsprings can have. How it is possible? For example, it is a recessive type of disorder. So, if both the parents are of heterozygous, both of them are heterozygous for the disease. So, in the parental generation, due to the presence of dominant allele, the recessive allele cannot express itself. Clear? Because disorder is autosomal recessive disorder. Recessive gene will express itself only under which condition? Only under homozygous condition. But parents are heterozygous, so they are not affected, but their offsprings can be affected. When both the parents are heterozygous, approximately 1/4 or 25% of their progeny will be affected. That is what is called which type of disorder? Autosomal recessive type of disorder. This is more frequent among the children of consanguineous marriages. So, because recessive gene will express itself only under homozygous condition. Third type is of sex-linked inheritance. There you know very well that it will follow crisscross pattern of inheritance. In the parent, if male is affected, in the offspring female will be affected, or in the parent if female is affected, in the offspring male will be affected. So today you have studied about chromosomal disorder, Down syndrome, then comes the Turner syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, then about pedigree analysis. Go through it. If you have any doubts, you can clarify it through your WhatsApp group. Thank you, children.